Hey guys, this is Brett Stratton, member of Team DDG, and you're listening to Deaddrawgaming, like no one ever was.
What's up, Dead Drawers, and welcome to episode number 85 of Dead Draw Gaming, a Pokemon TCG podcast like no one ever was. We have a crazy exciting episode for you guys today, so if you are hyped just like we are, make sure to hit that like button down below and share this podcast with all of your friends. But first, you guys, before we get too far into things today, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to my co-hosts who are with me every single week. Hello, Danny. Hello, Darren. What is going on today, boys?
What is up, Dan? Darren here. That's me. I'm very excited to be here. We have so much good stuff to talk about today, and I spent a large amount of the day editing and also just about finishing our stream table that we are going to have for our Pokemon Regional live stream. I'm very excited for this. You guys, this is nuts. Danny, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm super de-duper tired because I make bad decisions in life. Like, we decided it would be a good idea. My 2-year-old, first of all, is sick. She's got a sinus infection.
No.
And we decided it would be a great idea to take away her pacifier from her while she's sick. So the fact that she doesn't have a pacifier when she's sleeping and she's sick has literally meant for sleepless nights the last couple of nights. So I'm exhausted. But I got home from work today and there were 3 giant boxes sitting in front of my house, and they were all of our new merch.
I love giant boxes.
Yeah, they show up a lot. But they were all the new merch, and it looks so awesome.
If you guys haven't seen that new merch already, it is on our Twitter.
Yes.
You should go look at it.
My Twitter and Facebook and Instagram.
I got a notification on my phone. Dead Draw Danny posted for the first time in a while on Instagram.
Yeah,
it was literally 2016 the last time I posted on Instagram, so I don't even bother with Instagram anymore.
How are you doing, Mr. Non-Instagram?
I'll explain this a little bit later in the episode, but today I don't think I've ever been more proud to be an owner of Deaddrawgaming than I was earlier today, and that I am right now. I'm very excited to talk to you guys about it and let you all know why. But today was awesome. So I am doing about as well as I could be.
Same, honestly. I agree. And I'm very excited to talk about the thing that you are referring to.
And the agenda.
Yeah.
Before we talk to you about the thing that I am referring to, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys the other stuff we're going to talk about today. And we are going to start out episode number 85 the way we started out episode number 84, all the way to like episode number 6, probably. The first 5, I don't know how we did it, but no, it's actually like episode 20. We'll call it episode 20. But anyways, you guys, we're going to start you out with that Pokemon news. Then we're going to talk a little bit about Roanoke and give you a prelude of expanded regional that is coming up this weekend. And then, you guys, we are going to talk to you about the Nicholas Bailey Open. And then we are going to get into our weekly top 5, our question of the week, our buy sell trade of the week, our open discussion, and our wrap. So I hope you guys are excited, just like I am. And this is the time in the podcast where I tell Darren to go get me all the news.
That's right. I am going to give you all the go news. First, let's talk about Alolan forms. Out of nowhere, Niantic has decided that, just out of the blue, introduce Alolan forms to Pokemon Go. So be excited. You will be able to find Alolan Pokemon very soon. Probably June 1st, because that's when the next research tasks come out. Articuno comes out. Plus, there's a whole slew of APK data that the Pokemon Go enthusiasts are really diving into. Who knows? They might find a gem in there. But yes, I alluded to Articuno coming out. That would be June 1st. So if you haven't gotten your Zapdos, you only have a few more days to finish up your 7 research tasks in the month of May. The next bit of Pokemon Go news that matters is Ho-Oh has returned to raids, and you can find the shiny version. I've seen so many people posting their shiny Ho-Ohs, so it kind of leads me to believe that maybe it's a higher rate of shininess. I haven't personally done the Ho-Oh raid, so I don't have a shiny one. And finally, our last bit of Pokemon Go news for the day. Larvitar is confirmed as the June 2018 Community Day Pokemon. Let me click on the link here. This says that on Saturday, June 16th, you will be able to get 3x XP for every Pokemon you catch, and Larvitars will be very popular. You're going to find them all over the place. And of course,
3-hour lure modules also.
It doesn't say that yet.
Oh, that's what it says on Cerebi.
I'm looking here.
They're normally 30 minutes, right?
Yes. And community days have generally been the longer, the 3-hour or even 6-hour for the first one, I think, lure modules, which is very, very helpful. But of course, you get shiny Larvitar and Pupitar and Tyranitar. That's going to be fun. It's too bad shiny Tyranitar is kind of blah. He's not very cool.
Hey, Darren, I know I told you this when you guys came down on Sunday, but I played Pokemon Go for a little bit, and I caught a shiny Charmander.
Woo!
You did? Nice.
Way to go, Danny.
I don't remember you telling us that.
Yeah, I definitely told Darren. You may have been gone at the time, but I played it a little bit more today, and I didn't really catch anything new. But I actually got some Pokeballs because I hit up 3 Pokestops. And there was a raid nearby, but I was like, I can't do it. I don't have a raid pass, and I don't know what that is even. So
I think you might have trouble with anything over a 2-star.
Because I'm level 22 only.
Yeah.
Feels bad, man.
Have you spent any of your Stardust on powering up your Pokemon?
I've never used a single item that's not a Pokeball.
Yeah, you'd have trouble rating.
In my entire life. I don't even know what Stardust does.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but that's it for Pokemon Go news. We can move right along.
We can go right along.
That's true.
We can go right along. And there's really nothing to talk about for Sun and Moon, or Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, unfortunately, because no news has come out. We had the rumors, the speculation, all the stuff going on with the new Switch game rumors that we had last week, and there's really nothing updated. So I guess we'll just kind of have to save that for next week, and we can jump right into TCG news, which is good because there's actually a decent amount of TCG news, including one thing that's part of our main topic, one of our main topics. So I guess we'll save that for then. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
And we'll just go over the TCG leaks for right now. So I'll kick it. I'm looking at Metacham. I'll kick it over to Dan.
Okay.
Funny.
Yeah, I laughed. Well, one of the new things that we got is a brand new Prism Star card, and it's pretty memey, and I love it. But Jirachi Prism Star is a metal type. It is a basic. It has 80 HP. It has an ability, Wish Upon a Star, that reads, you can use this ability during your turn if you take this as a face-down prize card before you put it into your hand, and if you have room on your bench, play this Pokemon onto your bench, then take one more prize card. It has an attack for 3 colorless energy. Dream of Destruction does 10 damage. This Pokemon is now asleep. At the end of your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon is knocked out. So a pretty typical Jirachi attack. However, this ability is also really bad.
Yeah.
But super memey, and I love it.
This ability makes perfect sense for Jirachi and is probably the wordiest of abilities I've ever read before in my entire life. I think I had to read it 3 times just to understand it.
Dusknor level X.
I wasn't around.
We didn't play then.
Oh, I'm just wordy.
If you take this card as a face-down prize card, So if you knock out a Pokemon, take this card, and then before you put it in your hand, and if you have room on your bench, you can put this one on your bench and then take another prize card. So if I knock out Dan's Alolan Golem, I take 2 prize cards. Don't put them in my hand yet. One of them's a Jirachi Prism Star. Put it on my bench. I can take a 3rd prize card.
That's right.
That's super meme. Don't you just want to try it once?
Okay, but here's the thing, right? You technically don't even have to knock me out. Right? Say you played 4 Missing Clovers and took this as a face-down prize card.
Is there a way to get this insured in your prize cards? There's not, right?
If it's one, let's say you have no cards. No, there's not. I was going to say, if you have no, there's no way to insure it. Rotom decks, if you have all 6 prizes and only 5 cards in your deck, and this is one of them.
Yep, Rotom decks
would be the only way to get it from your deck into your prizes, but there's no way, even then, to guarantee that it's going to be in your prizes.
This will be fun to throw in your pre-release deck.
Yeah. Can you do this in Unlimited? Isn't there not an Uxie, isn't there a Misprit or something that can...
I think it's Azelf has Time Walk.
Is it Azelf? Okay.
But even then, I don't... it reads... Once during your turn, you may look at your face-down prize cards. If you do, you may choose one Pokemon you find there. It doesn't count as face-down, though.
No, I mean for putting...
Choose one card from your hand and put it as... Yeah.
There you go. So that's a way to get the Jirachi into your prize cards, if it isn't.
Yeah, but you couldn't use Azelf to take Jirachi as a prize.
That's right.
And get the ability. But yeah, so Unlimited. Time Walk Jirachi.
There you go.
And its attack is kind of interesting, but it's not... I mean, it's no different than the... It's very close to the one from Roaring Skies, which was, I think, a metal and a colorless.
Yeah, but this attack... this attack has never been good. It never will be good. It's unfortunate because it's cool, but it just...
Well, the thing is that moving forward into a format where all you have is Guzma because Floatstone's going to rotate, you could see it pop up, theoretically. Do you think a skateboard's going to be played?
I don't know, but I'm not going to put it past people.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what is it? A skateboard just lowers the retreat cost by 1?
Yes.
Yeah, but it allows you to retreat while you're affected by a special condition, right?
Yes.
So you're paralyzed.
Yep, it allows you to retreat through sleep and paralyze. Plus, Floatstone's going to be gone out of standard. So, this is kind of the only real replacement as a tool. But yeah.
So it could, you never know, it could pop up. I doubt it.
I doubt it too.
All right, Darren. Don't doubt it.
Before we move on too much further, I was alerted by longtime listener, supporter, and Team DDG member Chris Kemp that I was wrong and was passing along incorrect information last week about Celesteela. So, Celesteela's attack, Moonraker, it does 160 damage. If the total of both players' remaining prize cards is 6, this attack cost is a single metal instead of a metal and 4 colorless. Last week on the podcast, I said that if both players' prizes were 6, then it was a single metal. But no, it is not a great card to start the game. It is a great card for middle of the game. So, if both players have 3 prizes, or if one has 2 and the other has 4, that's when this card's attack cost is 1 metal. So that's actually a little better, because there are more instances where your prizes add up to 6, rather than both players having 6. But yes, I just had to correct that mistake, because that's what we do here. We own up to our mistakes.
I do it often.
All right.
Did he just message you and say, Darren, you were wrong, dude?
It wasn't even a private message. It was definitely in our Discord.
Called out publicly.
Yep.
Did he add everyone first?
No, he didn't. Should have. Might as well have.
I should have. I had everyone. Look what Darren did.
I goofed.
No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Chris would do it though.
Why don't I grab another piece of news here? So, do you guys all remember the psychic Tapu Lele that got
Oh, I was going
banned?
to talk about this.
Okay, well, let's talk about it together.
Okay, you go first.
Okay, so there was a Tapu Lele that was psychic type that came out in Japan only, and I think it was one senior played it in their deck in Oceania, and then it was banned.
No, they played it at Worlds, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
They had it at Worlds.
Oh, it was Worlds? I'm sorry. I thought it was at an international. Okay, so one player played it in their deck at Worlds, and oh yeah, it says right here in the article if I would read it. But now this card, this Psychic Tapu Lele, is being released in Europe, in France. And so hopefully that means it's coming to America soon.
It 100% is coming to America.
Update.
100.
Heck yes. Oh, good. So yeah, we will very soon have ourselves a beautiful little Psychic Tapu Lele.
Yeah, and it'll be legal for Worlds.
Dude, this is nuts.
Yeah. So the new images for Celestial Storm came out. This comes out on August 3rd, and the blister packs will feature shiny alternate art Tapu Koko promo that was released in Japan a long time ago, as well as the infamous Tapu Lele promo. So the Tapu Koko, first of all, isn't the flying flip one,
What?
right?
No, it
Or is
definitely is.
Oh, so it is. And then the Tapu Lele is the one that we've been talking about already. We do have the fairy typing of it, but now
Correct.
the psychic typing is going to come out, which a lot of more people were excited about, just because in the format it would have been a lot better. And this is going to come out in a time where Buzzwole is obviously very prevalent. So you're going to be able to see this in a lot of decks, and this could really change things up as far as what's going to be played for Worlds.
It doesn't one shot.
It doesn't one-shot a Buzzwole.
No, it hits 180 with the choice band.
So you'd have to Kukui.
Aha.
So there's ways around it. Not great ways, but what I'm trying to get at is the 3-pack blisters. This is probably the first time, at least since I can remember, that both of the promos that are in the 3-pack blisters are amazing cards.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually, very uncommon for both to be playable. Dan, what do you think of that coin?
Okay. Darren's only asking this because he knows I was just about to say it. I don't even care about the psychic type Lele, if I'm being 100% honest. What I do care about, however, is the Kyogre coin that comes with the 3-pack blister. I need 1,000 of them.
Oh, dude. He looks so derpy. This is a great coin.
It's so good.
It is a cute coin.
I need it. Cute? This thing is amazing. Cute is underselling. You guys, if you have not already seen this, just search it. New Kyogre coin Tapu Lele reveals. Boom.
So I'm looking at this all these product images. Okay, go ahead.
Quick, Jared, the last time I remember 2 3-pack blister cards being good was Dusknoir and Sigilyph from Boundaries Crossed.
Okay. So I'm looking at these product images, and dude, like, doesn't this like make you think of, I don't know, like neon 80s stuff? Like this very bright colors. I feel like we got to throw in our Zubas and head on down.
Dude, my dad used to wear Zubas. My dad might still wear Zubas. I don't know.
No, these colors are very bright and flashy. I like it.
I would agree with that. I think, they're very, like, almost hippie-ish.
Psychedelic.
Yeah. The 3-packs that are in these, I'm trying to figure out what the other one is, but it looks like it's Guardians Rising. So it looks like it's Celestial Storm, 2 of those, and then one of them is Guardians Rising, which is super cool. Forbidden Light had the new cool-looking Garbodor, as well as the other one was Regigigas, and it had 2 Forbidden Light packs and 1 Burning Shadows pack. So it's nice to see that they're not just throwing like Crimson Invasion and Sun and Moon
And Steam Siege.
evolutions. They could have done it. I mean, it'll still be in format for a few more weeks at that point,
True.
technically. So, but yeah, I like how it looks. I'm excited for Celestial Storm. I think
Me
it'll be a
too.
good set. I wasn't overly excited about it, and then when we talked about some of the last scans, then I started getting a lot more excited about it. But I'll move on. We'll talk about Metacham since I started that whole thing before. So we got the card scan for Metacham, which was released coming out in Charisma of the Wrecked Sky. So this comes out in Japan on June 1st. It's a stage 1, evolves from Metatite. It's got 90 HP as a fighting Pokemon for 2 fighting energy. It does Enlightened Strike, which is 10 plus damage. If this Pokemon's HP is 30 or less, this attack does 160 more damage. And then for 2 fighting energy, it does Spinning Kick, 90 damage. This Pokemon does 30 damage to itself, weak to Psychic, no resistance, 1 retreat cost. If there was a way to pile on damage to yourself, this card would be meme-worthy and kind of cool. But I can't think of a way that you can be able to do 60 damage to yourself.
I will, well, even if you could do 60 damage to yourself, would you want to?
I mean, why not? This card's getting 1-hit KO'd anyways.
I mean, true, but Jet Punch.
Yeah. But you're 1-hit KOing a Buzzwole with a Choice Band, so you're more than fine taking that prize trade.
But are you taking the prize trade if he Guzmas and does 90 tier active and 30 tier already damaged one on the bench?
Shreked.
How's he doing 90 to my active?
DNC
feels like
double strong energy.
For a Dead Punch? All the KO on Metacham?
Perfect.
Yeah, that'll get you there.
I guess. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, it's not a good card. It's
Quadruple
Okay.
Regirock.
There's just no way that you can pile on damage, right? There's ways to move damage now. Isn't there a card coming out that lets you move damage counters around?
I think it's only 1 per turn, but yeah.
Like the old Dusknor was, where you can move damage counters around?
You could
That's
only
what he said.
move. You could move them. You could move your opponent's damage counters, but I think there's a new one that allows you to take 1 from anywhere and put it anywhere. Is what the new one does, but it's
Yeah,
only 1.
Yeah, this card won't see play.
It won't, unfortunately.
Oh, they got to make bad cards too. And speaking of bad cards, Zangoose.
Ooh.
I thought you said speaking of bad cards.
What? So this is a promo that's going to be coming out in the Koro magazine. Chances are we will see it in Charisma of the Wrecked Sky or Celestial Storm, whatever they're calling it here in America. But it is a basic colorless Pokemon with 100 HP. It has 2 super bad attacks. The first one, Headhunt. Look at the top 6 cards of your deck. You may choose any number of Pokemon you find there, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Discard the remaining cards. That's for 1 colorless energy. Its second attack for 2 colorless energy. Slash does 40 damage. It is weak to fighting, has no resistance, a retreat cost of 1. The art is terrible. There's literally nothing good about this card.
It's a double colorless to do 40 damage.
Set is so cool. No, this card is just bad. So hopefully it's not in the set, because if it's anything more than an uncommon, it's not a great card. It's
Yeah,
pretty
this
bad.
is bad. This is a real bad card.
There are some other really neat cards coming out. Some Gen 3 Pokemon.
That's
coming
right.
out. Yeah, go ahead, Darren.
Yeah, let's move on to one of those.
Sure thing. So this time around, we are getting some Hoenn starters. We got Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip coming with their evolutions. This time around, the Torchic is the one with the highest HP with 70.
And it's super cute.
It is. Oh, that's cute.
It is pretty cute.
So let's talk about Swampert a little bit. It's 160 HP, stage 2, evolves from Marshtomp. Power draws the ability. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may discard a card from your hand, then draw 3 cards.
That's
pretty good.
So cool.
Yeah. And then its only attack is Hydro Pump for 3 colorless. It does 80 plus damage. This attack does 20 more damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. Not bad. Not bad at all.
No, it's just tough to get out.
That's
I mean, are
very
you really
true.
going to build a deck around it?
Probably not, but
No.
it's definitely not a bad card. I don't think that, like, I don't know. It could be interesting as a card in a Blastoise deck and expanded.
Yeah.
It hits harder than Keldeo, and it doesn't have the good Russian ability, but Power Draw is super good. And you're already playing Archies.
I missed that from Empoleon.
Well, this is better because it's 3 cards instead of 2.
Right.
Yes.
But, I mean, it wouldn't, it might not be a bad throw into an already built Blastoise deck. Not that Blastoise is any good. But, but I mean, it could definitely make it slightly better. But yeah, I don't know that I'd build a deck around this. Maybe I'll do it for stream memes.
Ooh, do it. Dan, you got to do it.
With the format slowing down. With the format slowing down so much.
And that's true,
rare candy.
But I'm actually really excited for like this set to come out because of all the combos that you're going to be able to build on TCGO. So this is going to be fun.
Definitely.
Bad decks galore. But who knows? Maybe they'll be good decks.
Man, I'm excited. I really am excited for some of the cards coming in this next set. Ooh. The next one that we can talk about is Manectric.
Yeah.
There we go.
Boy.
Lightning type, 110 HP, stage 1. Its ability is Volt Start. If you go second, you may play this card face down from your hand during setup. Its only attack for 1 lightning, double charge, 40 damage. You may attach up to 2 basic energy cards from your hand to one of your benched Pokemon. Retreat cost of 0. This is good.
Yeah, there's got to be something you can pair this with, right?
There has to be.
I like this card a lot.
Yep.
I mean, it's like Talonflame because you can start it right away.
This seems like a really good...
and then it's like Mega Man because you can attach... I mean, that was from your discard. But
I was going to say, this seems like a really good Vikavolt Tapu Bulu card.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Plus, I just love Manectric.
Definitely a cool Pokemon.
Agreed.
What's next? Oh, wait, the retreat cost is 0. We got to just say that again. Retreat cost is 0. That's fantastic. Okay,
Yeah.
now I can move on.
Well, Banette is next. And Banette is a psychic type that has 90 HP. It is a stage 1 that evolves from Shuppet. Has an ability, Red Eyes, that reads, when you play this card from your hand to evolve a Pokemon during your turn, you may play a basic Pokemon from your opponent's discard pile to their bench. Has an attack for 1 psychic and 1 colorless. Enemy show. Count the number of opponent's Pokemon in play. Put that many damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. A weakness to dark, a resistance to fighting, or a retreat cost of 1. Next.
Yeah, kinda.
Back card.
Really? This would have been
Yes.
cooler if it was something that came out during like the Shaman days.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's nothing that comes out that's like a staple big time in everybody's deck that's a 2-prize attacker that has super low HP. Like everybody's going to be playing Lele, but I mean, 170 compared to what was Shaman 110? 120?
Yeah, is there a GX that has lower HP than 150?
Is there one that has 150?
Marshadow.
Yeah, I don't think there is anything lower than that. I
And
think the
even
next
then, you don't want Marshadow on the bench, right? You want that
No,
in the
no,
discard pile. This is just... I mean, who knows? Maybe you're putting eggs on the bench or something in the deck that doesn't, not Zora. I don't know.
Well, what do
don't-
Mr. Mimes have for their HP?
150. But again, you don't want Mr. Mimes on the field. Those things are nuts. Those cards are way too good.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't want to sit down across Mr. Mime.
Let's talk about Delcatty.
Delcatty.
So it's a colorless Pokemon, 90 HP, stage 1, evolves from Skitty. It's got an ability called Friend Search. When you play this card from your hand to evolve a Pokemon during your turn, you may search your discard pile for 2 supporters, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Then for 2 colorless, it does Cat Kick, 40 damage. It's weak to fighting, no resistance, and a retreat cost of 1. Meh.
Not good enough.
This could have been Energy Draw Delcatty. But no. Thanks, Pokemon.
Next. I'm excited for the next 2 cards, so let's talk about those.
All right. Well, one of them, the first one, I'll talk about the less exciting one, but it is an Acrobike reprint. It's an item card that reads, look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put one of them into your hand. Discard the other card. You may play as many item cards as you like during your turn before you attack.
First of all, Danny firmed Secret Rare Acrobike coming out in this set.
Yeah,
Danny
100.
firmed.
Danny
Dan
firmed.
firmed.
I'm calling it now. I loved Acrobike because it was just something that, in my mind, right now, what this means is there's going to be something that comes out that's this Pokemon does 10 damage, 20 damage, plus 10 for X amount of Pokemon in your discard pile, or something like that. That's what. So, Flareon, Vespiquen, I mean, those were decks that I played quite a bit of. That's what it means to me, hopefully. But Acrobike is great. The only problem is Garbodor's still around. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what destroyed Acrobike. You know, that's what destroyed Vespiquen in the short time that they were paired together. It's tough because a lot of times you're going to be discarding an item. But we'll see.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
See. I would hope for... I love those Vengeance type decks as well, obviously.
All right, Darren, tell us about your decision. Or somebody else's decision.
My middle name is Steven, so yes, it is my decision. Steven's
That's
decision.
my middle name.
Shut up, Dan. It is not.
No, it's not.
This is a supporter that reads, search your deck for any 3 cards and put them into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Your turn ends. In a meta that only has Judge and Marshadow and what else? What else makes you shuffle?
You or your opponent?
Your opponent.
Yes.
There's not much. So Steven's decision, playing this, finding the 3 cards you need next turn for the win, and then your opponent might not be able to make you shuffle. Not bad.
Not bad. This card is busted. This is way too
super
good.
Busted.
I love
Lele, turn 1, Steven's decision. Hello?
Yeah, I love it. Not bad at all.
Yeah, this is going to replace Bridget, you know, as far as the thing that you're going to want. And not in format to ruin you. It's crazy how good this is going to be. I mean, you can't attack anyways. So playing this on turn 1,
It's very good. Very good.
It's super busted. I love it.
I love it as well. All right. Well, what else? Do we have any more card leaks?
Nope, that's all I have for news. So whatever you guys got left, you go right ahead.
Did we talk about Blaziken and Altaria GX?
Yeah, last week we did.
We did talk about those?
Yep.
Was I around last week?
You were,
Yep.
but you may have been accidentally asleep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or
I do that when
Lacey.
Dan talks a lot.
Wow. Whoa.
Shrek'd.
Throwing shade.
Rude.
Yeah.
Rude.
Rude.
You know,
I
there's
just came
one.
here to have a good time, and honestly, I feel so attacked right now.
Got him. That's fair. We can move on.
All right, cool.
We talked about Lucia? I don't remember talking about Lucia.
Definitely talked about this.
We did, but now we have these amazing Lucia products, like these sleeves and deck box. I
I
really
actually
haven't
think
had
those were there last week too.
but
If
we
you haven't
didn't.
had a chance to watch the YouTube video yet of me unboxing the stuff that we're going to have at Madison, Darren was very, very excited for some of the sleeves.
Dude, they're so cute.
And
I'm
Dan
really-
was pretty much just excited for everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I made the mistake of letting him take it all home with him.
Oops. I'm actually surprised he hasn't skipped town yet.
I mean, we don't know where he is right now,
That's
to
true.
be honest.
We don't know. Sweet. Well, I guess that's it for news, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't have anything else.
if that's it, we can jump into our Roanoke Regional Prelude. This is the last expanded regional of the year, of the season, I should say. And boy, it's kind of all wide open now after Utah really upended Zoroark a bit. So what are we gonna see here?
First of all, it's a great thing that we have smarter people than us who shot a YouTube video on this, because Caleb and Frank did kind of like a meta forecast for what to expect. Personally, I don't assume that there's going to be a lot of Forbidden Light that impacts the meta for expanded. I do expect it to impact the meta a lot more for standard, but in my opinion, I still think Zoroark Eggs is going to be the best. Otherwise, I've heard a lot of rumblings about Trevenant making a comeback. It gets a little bit stronger. Yeah, I guess. Dan, what have you heard or seen since you play PTCGO more than both of us combined?
I don't play expanded. I know that like some people are talking about Trevenant, and I don't know why. It seems really bad. Zoroark is still good, but I mean Buzzwole is where everyone goes, and that's honestly where everyone should go. It's the best deck in both formats.
You think Buzzwole is the best deck in both formats?
Yes.
What about Malamar?
Malamar, doesn't that wreck Buzzwole?
It definitely can, but it doesn't do as well against the rest of the meta as Buzzwole does.
Okay.
And having a good matchup against the BDIF doesn't necessarily make that deck better than the BDIF, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's still going to have to beat Zoroark Eggs, which is going to be all over the place as well. And I don't
Right.
think Malamar can keep up with Zoroark Eggs.
Mm-mm.
I honestly don't even think... I think that Zoroark Eggs handles Buzzwole okay. I just think it's the only match that's not necessarily in favor of Zoroark.
Sure.
But I still think it can hold its own just fine against it. Like, you don't find a whole lot of weaknesses out there that... Usually in most decks, like, okay, for example, when I played Primal Groudon, when I went across the table from Vespiquen, Vileplume, I knew it was over. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. And I feel like, as far as, even though Zoroark is getting hit for weakness, Jet Punch can only do so much. It's not like it's not like Buzzwole's gonna come down and one hit KO in one turn against the Zoroark.
I mean, with elixirs and beast rings and DNC and choice band and strong energy, it's definitely possible.
Well, it can do its second attack.
Yeah, I'm not saying with Jet Punch. Just in general, it's so easy to get energy out on Buzzwoles now that it's.
Can you one hit KO and expand it with Buzzwole? So if you have 30, it does 30 base, plus 20 for strong, that's 50, plus a choice band, that's 80. Plus a fighting stadium, that's 100, so that would only be 200 plus a DNC. So it could theoretically do it.
DNC would be 200. You wouldn't use fighting stadium.
Why not?
It only works against EXs.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah, it came out before GXs were a thing.
Yeah, but I thought it was just all.
No, only against EXs.
Fair enough. So you would need... so it would be pretty difficult for Buzzwole to one-hit KO Zoroark with a Jet Punch.
Yeah, with a Jet Punch, but I mean, some Malamar lists started playing Marshadow. And by started, I mean Rahul and Sam both did it in Mexico.
Which was standard.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing to play in Expanded either.
No. How much does it abuse, do those lists abuse Mew from Fates Collide?
I mean, Mew is good because it's a one prize attacker, but If you're
Did you see like a Passimian thing coming around?
no,
No, it's done okay and expanded before. I mean,
it's
you
just,
got the Skyfield on out.
if I'm going to a regionals and I really think I have a chance to win, I'm not taking Passimian. And I don't really think anyone who plays Passimian thinks they have a chance to like actually win. I don't know.
I don't know. It handles the two most popular decks fairly well.
I don't know about fairly well, but
Just today, well, Wednesday. So Wednesday this week, so yesterday for our listeners, we had a brand new deep dive come out. It's been a while, but this one is about expanded, and it includes a really gnarly Glaceon deck. Have either of you had a chance to listen to it?
I looked at the list, which was definitely gnarly.
Yes. So I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's a turbo deck that puts your opponent down to 0 cards in hand turn 1, and blocks their abilities. Seems pretty mean.
Yeah, I haven't had time to listen to it yet. It brings up some interesting stuff. I don't know. I mean, Caleb went to Utah for the last one and played Sableye Garb. And that, I mean, he took that all the way, and he's fairly new to the game. So I just expanded to me is just such a meta disaster because, and I love it. Like, don't get me wrong, I love it because of that. But there's just any deck, any tournament can win.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's definitely a fair way to look at it. But
I mean, it just depends on what the meta is like and what your pairings are like.
Yeah,
because in Utah we had a huge variety of different decks, even in the top 8. So it was interesting to see the different variety, and I think a lot of people naturally expected, and I think so did we, Zorark and Buzzwole running away with it. But there was still there was still Night March, there's still Glaceon, there's still a bunch of random stuff that does fine. There was still, Garb in Expanded.
That's
I
true.
think it really just relies on where you're playing, what the meta is, and I think that's the thing that needs to be taken into account also when you're preparing for what you're going to be playing is what is the meta like in that specific area. And I think that's why a lot of players who are local to that area kind of have an advantage because they know what they're going to be expecting for at least the majority of the players. Like, we know for a fact that for the longest time on the West Coast, they favored Dark all the time. So it was Evital, it was Darkrai. So if you were coming from the Midwest or the East Coast over to the West Coast, you knew that you were going to have to beat those decks. But it's different, because a lot of these areas and regions adapt to what is played at their locals and kind of test what they see at locals a lot. So I think that's a factor that kind of plays into it. The guy who won Utah, Caleb, he's from Colorado, which I would say is fairly close as far as region goes. So I think that does play a factor in it when you're preparing for these events. It can't just be, oh, I'm going to play Buzzwole or I'm going to play Zorark because I think that's the best deck. It certainly can be, but you also have to take into account what you would expect to see a lot based on numbers. And I think that's why, websites and Twitter pages like PokeStats, for example, that stuff gets me really excited because you have all that data and stuff that Arcanine is doing, Arcanine Labs is doing, compiling all this information takes the game to a whole nother level where you have people like Rukan, who's on our pro team, who can kind of sit back and only play at a few events a year, but really analyze all this data. And then that's why he can be so dangerous when you go up against him in a tournament, because you're not going to see him at every tournament, but the tournaments that you do see him at, that he's going to have his homework done and he's going to pay attention to stuff that a lot of other players aren't going to pay attention to. And that includes the expected meta for that area. Like you can go on PokeStats and you can look at all, like for the most part, you can look at a lot of information involving League Cups in specific areas. So you can see, hey, these decks are what's out there in this area. And I think as the game continues to grow and as the information continues to become more readily available, that's stuff that if you want to become a professional Pokemon player and really try and make a living at this, that's stuff that you're going to be looking at and stuff that you're going to have saved on your computer and stuff that you're going to analyze just as much as you analyze deck decisions. Because a simple tech or the switch of a tech in a deck can completely swing the odds into your favor. And that's stuff that you may decide to add or remove based on the local meta. So I think that's what makes Expanded so much more interesting than Standard.
I think you made a very good point about using data and how it's changed over the past few years. Similar to baseball, switching to sabermetrics for their pitching. It's everything nowadays is all about statistics. Like the Golden State Warriors are very good because they look at stats and apply them to the actual game. So players like Rukan in Pokemon who can do that, apply statistics and metadata to their game, often can do better than the average bear. I don't know what the East Coast looks like these days for meta. Dude, how cool would it be to see Yveltal EX in day 2? It resists fighting, right? Like that'd be neat.
I don't know how cool that would be. However, Yveltal is a dark type. And Dawnwings is weak to dark. So who knows?
So is Malamar, right? So is...
Malamar's weak to psychic.
Oh, Necrozma? Regular
He's weak
Necrozma?
to psychic also.
Okay. Well, you can still copy... You can still use Mew.
Yeah.
Copy Yveltal's attack.
Yeah.
Dude, busted. Yveltal Mew coming in swinging.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's not a terrible way to look at it. When you look at information that is available to you and you expect, okay, what can I play? That literally, that's probably why Dan favors like Fairy Box and a lot of people favor, what was that deck? Remember Colton Day had a deck he played a couple years ago. It was him and Kyle and a couple other people that had like...
Are you talking about Pidgeot?
No, it was like 30 different typings. And I think they played it at Madison Regionals. I think it was 3 years ago.
There's literally only 9 types.
Okay, it's an exaggeration to prove a point.
I don't understand.
Okay. But there was like a Manectric EX. There was an Aegislash EX. There was all these different types. And then they would use Aromatisse to transfer energy over to whatever they needed to transfer it to. So it would just be a rainbow energy, but when they transferred it over to Manectric, it would count for a lightning energy. And then they would use like Keldeo, Rush In, Retreat, and then they would just continue to hit for weakness on whatever they were playing. It was just a box deck. But those can be very dangerous because you can't prepare against those. And in a 3-game series, you can really adjust your way of thinking to take advantage of those situations. And I'm not saying that that's where we are right now because I don't think that's where we are right now, especially for Expanded, but it's definitely a different way to look at things where you can start piecing together different pieces that are going to be able to just continue to hit for weaknesses. I just don't think that they can hit enough right now. Like, for example, Mew and Yveltal. I mean, Evil Ball, you're only going to be doing so much. Or what is Yveltal's attack?
Yeah, 20 plus 20 for each energy attached to both. But I mean, Dawnwings needs 3 plus weakness. There's 120 just from the damage on or Pokemon on Dawnwing or energy on Dawnwings. Holy, plus the 2 that you're gonna have attached to Yveltal. So 2 energy knocks out a Dawnwings from Yveltal. And then I mean, you look at Mew, same thing. You got 3 energy on Buzzwole. Plus the 2 you have on Mew, bop bop.
Do you ever think the problem with Expanded is that there's just so much out there that it's overwhelming and that maybe it's too much, so people just resort back to decks that have already been created and just kind of changing different text in those rather than revisiting. I mean, you have every set available to you from black and white. So if you're a mad scientist and you want to go into your lab and you want to find 400,000 different types or 400,000 different cards that you could use, and you really knew your stuff, you know, remembered every single card, what every single one does, like a Puka, for example, you could create a new deck that would probably not have been heard of or used yet that could go into a regional and do extremely well.
Like Yveltal Mew.
Yes, like Yveltal Mew.
Yeah, I'm on this. I'm doing it. We're doing it.
Guys, I like it.
I'm gonna build it on stream after we're done recording.
Ooh, baby. Let me know how it goes.
Ooh.
Let me know how it goes also.
It's gonna go great. It's BDIF.
All right, so this is the point where we all decide what deck's gonna win. And since we just spent, you know, all this time talking about how it's impossible to guess a meta and expanded's too large and everything, I'm just gonna say, who's ever listening to this and can build Yveltal Mew in 2 days and pilot it to a victory, I will love you forever.
Yeah, I'll give you, if you win regionals in Roanoke with Yveltal Garb and you say, "Oh, I played this because of the Deaddrawgaming podcast," I'll give you a t-shirt at Madison.
Dude, I would, yes, 100%.
Also, that's what I'm picking to win Roanoke.
Yveltal Garb Mew?
Yep. Yveltal Mew.
I love it.
Not Garb.
You said Garb earlier, so I was...
I just... muscle memory.
That's okay.
Or whatever.
Yeah, because it used to be Yveltal Garb.
Yveltal Garb for so long.
No, it's Yveltal Mew now. Garb's out the window.
Mew. That's what I meant. Yveltal Mew.
I love it.
Yveltal Mew.
Daddy, what do you think?
T-shirt in Madison.
I'm going Zork eggs.
Okay.
That would be my real answer for sure.
I would love to see something just fresh come in and take it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh man, if Yveltal was an Ultra Beast, you know how good Yveltal would be.
Wow. Yeah, dude, that'd be nuts. All right, well, Critical Hit has the stream this weekend, right?
That is correct.
Yep.
All right, so hopefully we can catch some of it. I know all of us are extremely busy, but maybe I'll have it on in the background or something.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
All right. That's it. That's it for Roanoke.
That's it for Roanoke.
I don't know how many masters are currently registered for Roanoke, but I did see...
It's not a lot.
No, I did see a couple days ago, and this is something we talked about a few weeks ago, is like the number is dipping during this time of the season. But Madison has crossed the 500 master threshold for regionals, which is super cool.
That is
They were
great.
at 511 a couple days ago. So I think last year they had like 594. So they'll definitely beat that. I don't know if they'll hit like 750, but I do expect it north of 600, which is super hype for this time of the year.
Yes. Let's bring it on. The more the merrier, of course. And Madison Regionals has just such a good reputation of being a perfect event every time. So what do you do?
Great event in a great city.
That's right.
Not biased.
Same.
We don't live here.
I don't live in Madison.
I don't live in Madison.
I don't either.
Yeah.
All right, we did have some bigger news that came out, and I think Darren, being our local judge, you should kind of give us an idea of what it all entails.
Yeah, so day 2, the day 2 rules have changed. Let me pull up the wording so that I can get this right.
Oh, I totally forgot about this.
All right, so this news broke on Monday. It is, let's see, the new Tom software, which is what all Pokemon organizers use to run official tournaments, was updated to 1.52 this week, and the biggest change is the cutoff for Day 2 Swiss will now be determined based on 19 points instead of X2. Like, this is huge, guys. So first of all, this isn't going to take effect until the 2018-2019 season begins. But man, how crazy is it going to be that you don't have to finish a day 7-1-1 or 7-2 to get into day 2? Like, this is huge.
Yeah, this is a huge, like a giant, what's the word I'm looking for, off your chest. Like, it just, the fact that you can go 6-2-1, that guarantees you a spot in day 2. That's all you're going to be shooting for. Once you get to these 800-plus person regionals, and you're like, wow, I've got to find a way to get 21 points in order to make it into day 2. Obviously, you're still going to want to hit that point because it's going to set you up better for top 8. But the idea of just thinking, okay, 6-2-1 will get me there. 6-2-1, I'm at least in the game. I at least have a fighting chance. I don't feel like I'm out of it if I start out the day, 3-2-1. Like, I can win out my last 3 and make it still. Because right now, a lot of people drop at that point. Mm-hmm. If they've already got their point total. Like, we had a situation in, what was it, Collinsville? Where one of our players, I think, was 3-2-1, and he dropped because he already had his invite.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no shot at day 2. So where's the point in continuing to go? And this was a necessary change that people have been clamoring for a long time now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just incredible that players are finally going to have a solid number to shoot for at every tournament, from 250 to 1,000 plus. Every regional, you just got to hit that 6-2-1 or better, and you're into day 2. I love it.
I could go 6-2-1 at a regional.
You say that.
Do it. Do it in Madison.
Okay.
No.
I?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I told you can do it. I think you can do it.
I'm saying no. I'm putting my foot down, young man. No.
Fair enough. Okay.
Sorry, Dad.
Thanks, Daddin. No, but this is really cool. I really like that they're making this change. I don't know when they're going to institute it. When it's going to happen next season.
Yep.
Okay.
What we don't know is if they're going to change the prize structure at all.
That would be super cool, but doubtful. I can't see them doing that.
Yeah, I have no clue where prizing is going to go, but this is already a very welcome change.
I hope they do change it. I mean, if you're going to be playing an extra day, I'm hoping that. My main concern is that they change it and it gets lowered. Like, what is top 32 right now? It's like $250 or something like that.
I believe so.
Like 17 to 32nd or something. I worry that, it's going to be all day 2, 17 and up, get like $100.
That'd be okay with that.
It's not unreasonable.
Well, you got to do something for 33 to 33 on. You got to do something different, because I don't think you should be able to. Like, I just don't think that you can go like, oh, you day 2, so you should get the same as 17 through 32. I don't think the person that gets 65th should be getting paid the same as the person who got 17. I don't know.
I think a change is in order.
I don't have to make those decisions.
Something will happen. Something will happen, or nothing. But honestly, I got to say, Pokemon's been doing a good job about actually doing things over the past year. Like, we give them a hard time, but it's been getting better.
No, do you think they... Like, I think, and I don't know, maybe the community kind of gets a big head at times, and I'm part of the community, and maybe that's where I'm coming from here, but I think it almost feels like Pokemon does a good job of listening to feedback and actually goes out seeking it. Like, I know there's issues with support tickets and things like that, but as far as, like, reading chats, message boards, blogs, looking at content, like, I don't know if they have a division or something like that that pays attention to those sort of things and, like, actually pays attention to making sure that there's viable and realistic decisions that need to be changed. And I don't know, it just seems like they do, because there's a lot of issues at hand. Like, look at how many times over the past 20 years or changes have happened. Like, there was a time when it was best of one. There was a time when whoever was going first could attack on their first turn, and then players would get donked, and it made for really boring world championships.
Yeah.
Like, they've made a lot of necessary changes over the years, and I think a lot of that is due to feedback that the community gives, and it's just one of those situations where it's important to voice your opinion as long as you're doing it in a respectable fashion if you think it's a necessary change that needs to be implemented. And to me, I feel like Pokemon actually looks at that stuff, takes it into consideration.
I think so too. There you go. Pokemon, you're getting a thumbs up for this one. Good job.
Definitely a thumbs up for me.
Yep, it's an attaboy. They got it. All right.
Awesome. Well, we've got some really exciting stuff to talk about also.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, Dan?
Yep. Some very exciting stuff. And you guys, earlier, I had mentioned that today was probably my proudest moment of being an owner of Deaddrawgaming. And before getting into the why of that, we're going to talk to you guys a little bit about the Nicholas Bailey Open. So what the Nick Bailey Open is, this will be the third one this year. It's a league cup that gets run in Ohio in honor of Pokemon TCG player Nick Bailey, who passed away in 2016 after a battle with brain cancer. It was unfortunate, a pretty tragic event. He was a huge part of the community, had a lot of friends, and Nick Bailey was a great guy. And last year, if you guys remember, about this same time, we ran a small campaign on our website where we gave 10% of all of our sales throughout the weekend of the Nick Bailey Open to defeat GBM, the research charity that the Nick Bailey Open donated to. This year, we wanted to take it one step, a lot of steps, if I'm being honest, farther. And we wanted to do a whole charity stream out of it, where 100% of the proceeds would go to defeat GBM in the Nick Bailey Open. And so what we'll do is I'm just going to go over you guys the plans for the stream. So the first part of the plan is June 4th. It's a Monday, starting at noon p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to be on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Deaddrawgaming. Just streaming. We're going to go for 24 straight hours. I'm going to have a lot of people with me. I'm going to have DDG pro player Frank Persick, DDG and player Brett Stratton. I'm going to have Darren with me for part of it. I know he's really excited for it. We're going to have YouTube personality Aaron Lukenbach. You guys he's been on the podcast before. Trainer TV, Aaron Trainer. Those are all tons of different names. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. He'll be around for the stream. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And it's going to be for 24 hours long with the possibility of going to 28 hours long. So for every $100 donated collectively, the stream will last an extra 15 minutes. We'll cap that at 4 hours because we can't stream forever, unfortunately.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah. As much as I would love to do it, it's impossible, unfortunately. But if we get to $1,600, the stream will go on for 4 more hours, going to 28. And we have a lot of really cool ideas and incentives and prizes and raffles for you guys throughout. So I'm just going to read this really, really quick because I hope that as many people can get out to this as possible, and as many people that can donate will donate. And if you can't donate, even just spreading the word, getting it out, telling as many people about it as you can is just as helpful. But for every $1 donation or more, you will receive a handwritten thank you from everyone involved with the stream. So the three of us at Deaddrawgaming, Aaron, Brett, Frank, and Natalie Champagne, who runs all the Nick Bailey Open stuff. She was on our podcast probably 15 episodes ago, give or take?
Not even. A couple months ago, I think. It was right after Collinsville, right?
Yep. So, yeah, not even on 10 episodes probably. Mm-hmm. So every $5 donation, what you will get to do if you donate $5 is you will get to request a song, and whoever's on stream at that point in time will do a live karaoke version of the song for you, which I am very excited for. Wow. So every $10 donation, you will be entered into a raffle to win some DDG merch. So we'll have t-shirts, hoodies, if there's any left over, playmats, if there's any left over. If for some reason there isn't any DDG merch left over, we will still do it and we'll just order it. It might take a little bit longer if you win that. And if you do the $10 donation, you will also be able to request a song to be sung by karaoke style by whoever is on stream. Every $15 donation will get to join the current streamer for whatever game they're playing. This is going to be mostly Pokemon TCGO. So if the streamer is playing TCGO, if you donate $15, you will get to play a game with them. Every $20 donation will get an invite to the exclusive Deaddrawgaming Discord channel, which was previously only available to our Twitch subs and our Deaddrawgaming patrons. There's a lot of fun stuff here, a great community in our Discord channel. Every $25 donation will be entered into a raffle to win some Japanese Pokemon Center merch. So what that means is whatever we have left over, sleeves, deck boxes, plushes, whatever, some of the smaller things that we'll have, we'll be giving away, raffling some of that off on stream. Every $50 donator will receive a free hour of coaching from Team DDG pro player Frank Persick. And if you guys want to know what it's like to get coached by Frank, there's a YouTube video of me getting coached by Frank. You guys can go watch that. Every $75 donation, you will get your name into all raffles with double entries. So for the DDG merch, for the Japanese Center merch, for all of the other small things that we will have going along the way, that will get you there. Every $100 or more donation, you will receive an invite to join Danny, Darren, and myself for an entire episode of Deaddrawgaming like no one ever was. Obviously, the topics for that will be at our discretion, but you get to join us for a regular podcast like we do every single week. And then we have our collective goals. When $250 total is reached, Deaddrawgaming will be giving away 200 PTC Geo codes on stream. You don't even have to be a donator to get any of those codes. You just got to be there. When $500 total is reached, and you guys, I'm super excited for this one. And I know Darren is excited for this one too. But when $500 total dollars is reached, Deaddrawgaming's Darren will release his take of the Pokemon theme song.
I love it. So good.
Oh god! I just closed my eyes and I could see it.
I'm very,
So good.
very excited. So when $750 total is reached, we will raffle a booster box of Forbidden Light. Everyone who donates is entered into this, and you will receive one entry into the raffle for each dollar that you donated. So if you are one of the people who donates $75, you will get 150 entries into this booster box because you get the $75 you donated plus double entries for all raffles. When 1,000 total dollars is reached, the Pokemon TCG community, so everybody, we'll probably go through one of the Facebook groups, most likely Burbank City. If you're not in that, go join it. We will take polls and ideas, and the best idea will get to choose what Brett Stratton wears at the World Championships later this year. You guys get to dress him. Yeah, obviously you can't do anything to where he'd get kicked out. It's got to be Pokemon tournament appropriate. But
Use your imagination.
We can still have a lot of fun with this.
Mm-hmm.
And then the top goal when $1,500 total dollars is reached. And you guys can thank Danny for this idea. But when $1,500 total dollars are reached, the Deaddrawgaming crew, so Danny, Darren, and myself, we will order custom DDG onesies and wear them to the next event that we vend. So we will be standing behind our booth with black onesies on and the DDG logo, and it will be magnificent.
Maximum comfort.
So everyone who donates of any amount from a penny to $1 billion, you will also get credited in a YouTube video and on the Deaddrawgaming podcast. And if you guys go to our Facebook page, There's a lot of great info there, including if you would like to donate to Defeat GEBM outside of the stream on your own time, there's a link to do that. If you would like other information on the Nicholas Bailey Open, which is a Season 4 League Cup, so you guys will actually be able to play in the event, earn some championship points. That is Saturday, June 23rd at In the Zone Cards and Games in Ashtabula, Ohio. So if you guys can make it, please do. It's a great tournament at a great store, a great event. And the other thing I wanted to share with you guys about all of this, and this person asked to remain anonymous, so I'm not going to share their name with you. However, we received a message this morning from one of the DDG patrons that said, I would like to privately pledge to match the funds raised up to $1,500 with a minimum donation of $500. So you guys are already at $500, which means the Deaddrawgaming Darren's Pokemon theme song is coming out already. So we're obviously still going to try to hit all of our goals on our own, and then we'll add this in at the end. But then later on, about 12 hours after we got the first message this morning, he messages me again. And this person said, I talked to a friend of mine that this kind of thing hits very close to home to, and he's going to do the same. So every dollar that we raise during our now 28-hour charity stream will be tripled.
It's incredible. The generosity, this morning when I heard the news, like it brings a tear to your eye. Like it's incredible that these people are so willing to help this cause. It's heroes, straight up heroes.
Absolutely. So for every dollar that gets donated, like I said, we want to hit the goal on our own. Our goal when we were going up with this last year, the 2017 Nick Bailey Open raised over $1,500, just the tournament alone. And we wanted to double it. And if we double our goal, then we triple or more, quadruple the amount we wanted to raise, whatever the number works out to be. It'd be crazy. And my dad has already pledged $100. You guys are already $100. But it's nuts. And, the person that we're talking about, he listens to the podcast, and I already said it to him in a private message, but like, there's just no words for someone to come in, and it's crazy and it's awesome. And thank you.
Yeah. We've been doing something, at least trying to do something, as we've continued to grow every year. And I remember, when things first started a couple of years ago, just trying to figure out a way to do whatever we could. And then last year, we did a little bit more by donating a percentage of sales. And this year, we're doing even more now that our reach is a little bit further. But this is something that's really, really important to me and to all of us. And it hits home pretty hard for me, and it was just something that was, it's just amazing. And the support I think that we've gotten already, even before the stream has started, is super, super wonderful. And I'm excited that we're able to do it. And I know that it's going to be a success because the community is wonderful. And I'm excited. And I think it's great. And that's all I can really say about it, because I don't want to get too emotional. So we'll go with that.
So again, if you guys end up not being able to make it to the stream, just going to our Facebook post and sharing the Facebook post, the retweets on Twitter, just mentioning it to your friends, the people who work at work, wherever you go during the day. Every little bit helps and every little bit counts. And it just, again, thank you to everyone who already has or everyone who will be joining us. Again, we will be starting the stream Monday, June 4th at noon, and we will be going through Tuesday, June 5th at 4 p.m. So, like, at this point, we're already, I'm going to say it, we're going 28 hours regardless of if we hit everything. So,
just to just to finish off the conversation, if you are someone who doesn't think your donation is going to help much, you don't have much to give, just remember your $1 is $3 now. Mm-hmm. And so don't be shy, and just know that everything you do is helping someone. It's just incredible. Like the amount of support that we've already been shown. It's going to be so much fun. Dan, it's going to be crazy.
The stream is absolutely, you guys, we have so many fun things planned that we're not going to get into the specifics of it yet, because there is still a lot of ideas to go over, but we really wanted to get this out, as soon as we could when we got the idea to do this. So it's just, and this is also my celebration stream for hitting 1,000 followers on Twitch. So if you are part of those 1,000 followers, thank you, because you're part of the reason that this is happening.
Yeah,
you gave us the idea.
This is awesome.
So
best thing we've done since we started Deaddrawgaming. 100%.
100%.
Perfect. So,
well, I think with that, you guys, we're going to talk about it again next week, and we're definitely going to talk about it again 2 weeks from now after the charity stream has happened. And it's you guys. But we'll move away from that, and we will go into our weekly top 5.
Woo!
And this week, you guys, we are doing our top 5 Alolan formed Pokemon.
That's right.
This one, for me, was pretty easy. So I'll start if you guys would like.
Do it.
All right. Number 5, Alolan Vulpix.
Ah, yes. I'll jump in here and second that motion with a number 5 being Alolan Vulpix as well.
Just super cute.
Yeah.
I actually like a lot of the Alolan forms more than I do their regular forms. Vulpix is one of them for sure. So
yes.
My number 5 is Alolan Raichu.
Ooh.
Surge Surfer. I actually don't like Alolan Raichu that much, but that's okay. Number 4, Alolan Sandslash.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm. That ice steel typing. We talked about that a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Busted type.
My number 4 goes to Alolan Marowak.
My number 4 is Alolan X-Egg Utor.
That's way too low.
Nope. Are you going to disagree with all of mine? Otherwise, I'm just going to come back salty. Don't get me all riled up right now.
Number 3, Alolan Muck.
Interesting.
I really like Alolan Muck. What do you mean? Danny. Ooh.
My number 3 is Alolan Exeggutor.
That's still too low.
All right.
All right. My number
Danny's
number 3. Danny's number 3.
Can we edit out all of Dan's portion of the weekly top 5, Darren?
I'm really thinking about it.
Wow.
My number 3 is Alolan Sandslash.
Nice.
My number 2. You guys wouldn't have guessed it. Alolan
Golem.
Nice.
Danny guessed it. He knew.
Because I know what your number 1 is.
That's true. You
and it's
do
still
indeed.
too low.
It's still too low.
It's too low. My number 2 is Alolan Golem.
Yes. Darren, my dude.
Yeah, dude. I just love the idea of this big Mexican-looking rock guy. Like, it's awesome.
He's got a beard.
Yeah.
My number 2
I have
is
a beard.
Alolan
We're like the same.
Vulpix.
Nice.
Oh, nice. All right, you guys. My number 1.
Number 1.
Never guessed it.
Alolan
Is-
Raichu.
Alolan Executor. There's just something about a tree also being a dragon, also like 40 feet tall. And just how do you a 40-foot tall tree that breathes
giraffe
fire.
tree?
This is taller than a giraffe. Giraffe rig's only like 4 feet tall, maybe 5. This is way more than 5 feet tall.
I'm not going to argue with you tonight.
Blow an executor. Tree dragon.
My number one is the Hanson brothers, half buried underground. Alolan Doug Trio. Sorry. I love this card.
Really? You're a big fan of that?
No, like the Pokemon itself is cute and funny, but the card, I just like the card in the TCG. Like
Gold Rush.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Plus, it's very memorable. It just makes me giggle.
My number one is Alolan Marowak.
It was pretty hard to keep Alolan Marowak off the list because I really do like that Pokemon a lot. Fire Ghost typing is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's still getting the Lightning Rod ability is pretty huge, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Just love how it looks.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, there you go.
And that was our weekly top 5. Darren.
Keep it rolling.
Question of the week. That's what we're on now. Are you excited? I am
excited.
Yeah! Last week, we wanted to know what your opinion is on the news that Expanded isn't changing. Dan has one opinion. Darren had a different opinion.
True, I do have an opinion.
And Danny, I think he split the middle of the two of us. Pretty sure that's how it worked out. In any case, we got your responses, and now we are going to read them. Let's start in our email. The first response comes from Colby. Colby says, we need to make Expanded XY on. I hear you, brother. 100%. When I said our first response in our email, I just meant our first overall because we only had one email response. Let's take a look at Facebook. Nope. I just can't open that page. Let me do it on my mobile here. I got it. It's fine.
I mean, I can read it too.
Do you want to read one, Dan?
A lot of talking. Sure. While you're loading it up, let me find. There it is. Question of the week. So, from our Facebook page, we have Troy who said, I like XY Onward, but I appreciate that they keep cards usable for a long time to get your money's worth.
Good insight.
I mean, yeah, I think after 7 years, you probably got your cards worth at that point, or your money's worth, but I actually agree with him. Not necessarily the reasoning, but I like what Troy said. And then Paul goes on to say, I'm happy it stayed where it is. Keep up a ban list and Expanded should be fine. Realistically, apart from the beaches, most of the Expanded cards aren't more expensive than Tapu Lele, and if you play competitively, you need them anyways. So to dip into Expanded to get a computer search or the other ace specs that's less than $40 USD isn't that big of a deal.
I agree with this wholeheartedly. I mean, I understand some people who aren't in the game, it being a big deal because they're like, oh, now I've got to invest in all these extra cards and build a deck that I don't have access to. But you can't look at it just that way. You're building an investment also. Like, as long as, if you're going to play next year, buy your Expanded cards. You know, you can always resell them. You can always get your money back on them. And they're not going to decline in pricing anymore. So think of it as more of an investment opportunity. I hope they never rotate Standard because I wouldn't want to get in the game and my Expanded cards to lose value. They're only going to go up then.
Right.
Nice. Let's take another response. Let's hop over to Twitter. Our first response on Twitter comes from Kashvinder. He said, I'm okay with Expanded staying where it is, even though we don't have Expanded tourneys here, so I guess it doesn't really affect him. Next up, we have Justin saying, I love it right where it is. Give me a way to use my cards after they rotate out of Standard, or it gives me a way. And then it's a large card pool for a format. Most problems can be corrected through a shift in the meta, unless they make Legacy an IRL thing too. I say keep it where it's at. And then Tim Melton, Mr. Tim, said, honestly, I'm cool with it staying BLW on, since that helps differentiate expanded from standard. However, I'm still of the opinion that TPCI should make better use of their ban list and should work to make older staples more easily obtainable. And with that, we're going to jump over to our Discord. First response from Chronicles of Narnia. I like the format where it's at currently. Even if it moved to XY on, people are still going to play standard decks in Expanded online, and it would ruin a lot of fun Expanded decks like Sable Garb, as Sable I would have to then move to Legacy. DDG Corey came in next with, I like Expanded where it's at, but two things should change. Number one, more aggressive ban list to keep the format fresh. Even a rotating ban list might be fun. And number two, release collection boxes with some expensive staples such as Beach, Computer Search, etc. I think that's a really great idea. Kraken Cove came in with, I think Expanded is perfect exactly where it is. I love the diversity it offers in contrast to Standard. And our final response of the week for this question comes from good old DDG Chris. He said Expanded seems fine.
Thanks for the insight. Appreciate it.
No, absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for responding to this question. I guess everyone likes Expanded. Not everyone, but a large majority like Expanded where it's at. So, more power to you.
There's actually, I did just see this. There's an interesting poll going on right now in one of the Facebook groups that I just saw. And the poll was simply, do you approve of the current state of the Expanded metagame? And this was only an hour ago that this was posted. The options for the poll were no, something should be done, or yes, Expanded is fine. There were, as of this exact moment, 131 people voting for no, something should be changed, and 51 people voting yes, Expanded is fine.
Okay.
So, reading through some of the comments, it does look like people like Expanded and prefer it to Standard, even though that events are really not showing that. But most people want to see something done, something changed. And I think that, like Corey mentioned, it could literally be as easy as just reprinting some of these cards. It might suck for people like us who are trying to run a business and keep everything, But at the same time, I think our first and foremost goal is to grow the game. And doing something like that would definitely help.
If we could get a collection box that instead of having Mewtwo EX and Mew EX in it, had Tropical Beach and 3 of the A specs, that would be nuts.
But or a box like the XY Premium Collection, right? That had Shaman and In and Hex and Blacksmith and Shauna and all these other cards,
Yeah.
I'm so against the grain on this one, I think. I don't want a collection box for those.
Let's say, okay, maybe not even a collection box. Let's do a whole set. That's still black and white.
I just don't want that. I don't want these cards reprinted. I like the fact that they're hard to find, that they're expensive, and it's not because of selfish reasons as far as investor purposes goes, or it's not because, to me, that gives this game longevity. It gives this game purpose. I don't want these cards to be so readily available, because to me that just impacts too much. I like the way that it is right now. I like the fact that Computer Search is, it's still a $38 card. It's no more expensive than a Lele. The only card that's more expensive than Lele in Expanded is Tropical Beach. I can't think of another one that would be less, or that would be more. You can get it for a regular art version, or you can get a lesser value. You can get Darkrai EX cheap. You can get Blastoise cheap. You don't have to get the secret rare. There's just ways that you already have access to the cards, which is going to be cheap. And if we're just talking about the majority of the A specs are cheap. And none of them are super expensive.
I think one thing we got to remember too is like, some of these cards came out in 2011. Some of these cards are literally 7 years and old.
Mm-hmm.
And the other part that we got to remember is that the longer we go without changing expanded, the harder those cards are to get a hold of, and they become less readily available. And to be fair to those cards, I think the expanded format being a thing is a huge reason as to why those cards are still available and fairly readily available. But what if in 3 years we don't have a change and expanded is still black, white on, and we've been 10 years, where boundaries crossed has been legal. So 10 years where computer search hasn't been printed.
I mean, you can find first edition Shadowless cards still. You can find sealed packs from base set. I think that stuff is always going to be available.
Sure, but I mean, I think that if the goal is to grow the game, that's a really hard. It's just hard to sell expanded. I feel like, especially in 3 years. Oh yeah, this card came out in 2011.
I think if you see computer searches get up to $300-$400 a piece, okay, then I understand. But I think when they're sitting at the computer searches are down in price. Like they started the year up at like $50 to $60. Now you can get them $30 to $40, no problem whatsoever, near mint. So I think you revisit that idea kind of at a later date, just monitor it and see how it goes.
I think that's a good point because we're kind of spoiled with how affordable this game is. So when you look at Magic the Gathering, you're going to have decks with cards that are well over $200, $300, $400, $500 a piece. And that's just, especially like EDH format or Legacy or Modern, like all these formats have ridiculously expensive cards just so you can be relevant. Pokemon, it's a very cheap game if you're comparing.
Mm-hmm. Even Yu-Gi-Oh is very pricey.
Oh yes,
Yu-Gi-Oh is totally different though. Like every card ever is legal, and you can only have one of this card and two of this card. Also, 600 cards are banned.
That's a good point. So maybe the big change people really want is a bigger ban list.
Get rid of eggs, get rid of DCE, get rid of Skyfield, get rid of the things that make Zora good and expanded, and the format will be fun. I honestly think that it's as simple as that.
I can see eggs maybe being a problem, but
I really think DCE takes away creativity from the game. And I think that if it wasn't there, even in expanded, leave it in standard, fine. Take it out of, even just try it. Run some test tournaments where DCE isn't, do a few League Cups, Pokemon, run a few League Cups. DCE is banned.
I don't think they want to get to the point where they unban something.
Well, that's why I say test it. But I mean, they've unbanned things before.
Have they?
Shiftry's unbanned. Now it's not good.
Yeah, because Forest is banned.
Yes.
Still, they did it.
Ban swap. I'm still kind of against ban lists, but if expanded isn't rotating in the near future, or maybe even for the far future, a ban list is required. It's necessary. Mm-hmm. But
if Forest Giant Plants wasn't banned right now, would Decidueye still be really good? Vileplume?
I would say so.
Zoroark be... You can still use the ability.
I mean, yeah, but Zoroark's not hitting 240.
It will in 2 turns.
Yeah, in 2 turns. Maybe.
That's another question for another
week. You get to play trade, but I mean,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. No items. I don't know. That's a good question.
All right. Darren, what are we asking now?
Well, we really did get off topic a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
So this week's, we're still in question of the week, guys. If you didn't realize, this week's question is, what deck is going to win Madison Regionals. We just spent all this time talking about Expanded. Now we want to hear what you think of Standard. The new Forbidden Light Standard format will be a go at Madison Regionals. What deck is going to come in and take the whole thing? Leave your responses in all the normal places: Facebook, Twitter, our email, our Discord channel, on YouTube, on Twitch, or send us a letter, and we will read your answer, maybe, on next week's podcast. That was the longest question of the week of all time.
That was a long one. Turned into like a main segment. But that's okay.
My bad.
We can breeze through buy, sell, trade pretty quickly this week because there's not that much that I bought. Main reason because Madison is right around the corner, so we spent some time pricing cards. Dan and Darren came down over the weekend and helped get some stuff done. And then the last couple of nights, I've just been sitting on the floor in my living room, pricing as many cards as I possibly can, getting through stuff, looking up prices. And I haven't had a whole lot of time to buy stuff. So the only things that I have bought are like things that were super low on that I think I'll sell fine in Madison. Like, I don't want to make big investments right now. So it's been like Necrozma GX and Dawn Wings Necrozma GX and Malamars and B-Strings and stuff like that. And the margins are really low on them, actually, because it's more important kind of just to have them in your booth at that time. Because if somebody wants to play Malamar Dawn Wings and you have Dawn Wings but you don't have Malamar, well, they're going to go to the booth that has both. At least in my opinion, it's easier to just buy everything from one vendor. So I would rather have it than not have it. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And it's going to be next week. I don't even know I'll probably get a few more things here and there. But for the most part, we are really heavily invested into Madison right now. So we just got to get through Madison, and then, we have a lot of stuff. And I think when Dan and Darren were here, they got a better understanding of all the stuff that we have. And it's stuff we didn't even realize we had. Like when I came, Dan and Darren got here before I even got home. And this was really funny. And I still can't believe it happened. But I was getting ready for my rummage sale, and I was just going through boxes, and I remember finding 2 sealed fossil packs and then just 3 sealed promo cards. Had no idea what they were. All I knew was I saw the sealed fossil packs. I'm like, oh, sweet. It's like finding money. So I sold the fossil packs right away. And I was like, oh, there's an extra $40 because I sold them for $20 each. I was like, awesome. And then I just set the sealed promos on my kitchen table. And I was on my way home, got home. Dan and Darren are in the kitchen, and they're looking at these promo cards trying to figure out what they are. And Dan's like, oh, here's a Lucky Stadium. Here's a Lucky Stadium. And Darren's like, I don't know what this one is. We looked it up, and it was Pokemon Center. And then like an hour later, I was like, oh, let's see what these are even worth. I don't even know what these are. And you find out they're worth $135 each. So that was crazy to me.
It was nuts.
That's like our most profitable buy, sell, trade. Because we didn't even know we had them.
You just find things.
Those are from years ago, probably. Like when I just bought bulk lots on eBay, and I probably just stuck them in a box, not even knowing what they were. And here they are, and still sealed, so they're still in amazing condition. And here they are, $100+ cards that are just lying around. And that's just what is in the studio right now because there's just not enough time to go through everything. And I'm sitting there pricing cards, looking at like all the promos and stuff that we have. And it's like we focus a lot on competitive cards on our website and ultra rare cards. And you don't even think about like the promo cards or the higher rarity uncommons and rares and stuff like that. And all that stuff adds up. It's just going to be so much better when all that stuff gets posted on the website. And can't wait for that to happen. But that is a big, daunting task ahead of us. So, but that's it for buy, sell, trade of the week. So we can move into open discussion, which the only thing I want to mention is working really hard on the stream, getting everything set, finalized the VGC layout tonight, which is fantastic. We still do have our contest going for the Forbidden Light booster box. All you got to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are at 1,346. So we haven't grown that much over the past week. So if you want to win that booster box, we got to get to at least 2,000 by the end of Madison. I do think we're going to get quite a few at Madison because we're going to be live streaming IRL style our entire weekend from our booth on YouTube. So we should be able to gain some subscribers that way, and then just word of mouth, talking to people while we're there, telling them, hey, make sure to like us or subscribe to us on your phone right now, and you'll be entered to win. I think that'll help, and we should be able to get there. It'll just be close. So 2,000 sealed box of Forbidden Light. If we get to 2,500, it's a box and an ETB. If we get to 5,000, we're giving away an entire case. So tell your friends. Other than that, I got nothing for open discussion, so I'll let one of you guys go.
For me, I've been working on our stream table. I'm putting the finishing touches on it this week, and it's going to be ready. Today I started working on our overhead camera boom. It's pretty cool. I bought the wrong size pipe for one piece, so I need to make another run to the hardware store tomorrow. But otherwise, everything's going pretty smoothly. I had a short discussion with one of our stream managers, Aaron, and was just trying to get everything situated there. And I think we've got, I mean, there's a lot of loose ends to tie together, but I mean, there's a light at the end of the tunnel now. We're getting there, guys. It's close.
Madison is 9 days away?
9 days.
9 days.
It's scary.
Yes.
Yeah. But I've said this before, but I'm definitely more confident about it right now than I was a year at this point. So I'm feeling good. I'm excited. 3 of the next 4 days, I'll be at Danny's. So it'll be a good time. We'll get all the things done.
Nice.
I don't really have anything for open discussion this week. Most of my free time has been spent streaming and figuring out details of the charity stream. And just get a couple of other small things. So not a whole lot from me since I went over like all of it when I was talking to you guys earlier. Actually, you guys, there is one really quick thing that I did want to mention for our open discussion before we end for you guys today. So earlier this week, we were approached by Jeff Saran, one of the people who runs the Super Rod Cast, and we will be recording with him next week for an episode to drop before Madison. I'm not certain exactly what day it will be on, but make sure to keep up with all of Deaddrawgaming on social media, and we will definitely be posting it there when it goes live. So now that's everything.
This has been a really good week for Deaddrawgaming, gotta say.
Yeah, for sure.
Very busy. We got a lot going on, and I mean, we owe it to the community. You guys are awesome. But if I think that's all we got, then Dan, why don't you take us home?
All right. So, you guys, if you enjoyed episode number 85 of Deaddrawgaming, a Pokemon TCG podcast like no one ever was, make sure to hit that like button down below. Share this podcast with all of your friends, and make sure to join us next week for episode number 86, the very last episode before Madison Regionals. The episode after that will be a live version of the podcast that we record at Regionals. Be a great time. Hope you guys are excited for that. And that's all we have for you guys this week. So for Danny, for Darren, I am Dan. We will see you next time.